Morning, good morning. What's good, y'all? It's your boy ARP. We back with the Sorry is True podcast. Dame Dash and Camron. What's going on, man? I see all these titles flying around the internet. Some of y'all tweet me and DM me some of this stuff. It's interesting. It's real interesting. Of course, the backdrop of the Diplomats, legendary group. You got artists such as Camron, Jewels. You got Dame Dash, who played the business guy or the CEO behind the scenes of, putting a lot of those pieces together. You got Jim Jones and all these different fallouts. Dame Dash is 53 years old. Camron is 49 years old. Jim Jones and Camron, they into it right now, right? But that's not the first time. They back and forth, back and forth. Mace comes back into the equation with Jim Jones. They getting along now. They cool. They're making some good money. Their podcast is moving. They look like they get endorsement deals and all types of stuff. It's like a second wave of success. You look at like a Gilly. Gilly is making more money and he has a bigger profile than he ever had before when he was trying to rap or put out albums or do DVDs or do mixtapes or be a party promoter. Same thing goes for Joe Budden. Joe Budden has way more success now than he ever did for like the first 30 plus years of his life, right? When he's gotten into this media lane. It's wild too, because Dame Dash is now switching into almost like a content media lane, but we'll save that for later on. But this recent back and forth with Dame Dash and Camron, I'm going to pull up where it started, and then we're going to play some of Camron's reaction to Dame Dash. We're going to listen to Cam for a good 10 or 15 minutes. I'll do some light reactions in between then, but I got some real interesting topics that I want to mix in, and I'm going to leave until after so I don't disrupt the video too much. Some real interesting topics that we got to break down, so hang around until the end. But this is how it started. It didn't seem like anything too crazy, but let's check it out. Let me get this on a bigger one for y'all. Bigger screen. There y'all go.
50 patted him on his hips twice. He gave him a pat. So I'm like, yo, why are you smacking Cam on his ass like that? Pause. Like, what in this environment, in that tight ass suit? And I was like, damn, is it? Because I started to think, because I went down like a rabbit hole. I got mad, literally, paused for a second, like, damn, is he over there because he got to a certain place and they think they could be smacking him on his ass now and all that? I got to call.
Listen.
I got so upset that I called British. And I'm like, British, what's going on over there? So, why is niggas? I got to call Cam, and it turned out being really funny to me. You know what I'm saying? So I called Cam. I'm like, yo, with the serious face, like, yo, I saw that shit with 50 Cent. Yo, why he giving you the pat? Like, since when there's a pound, when niggas see each other, they smacking each other on the hips. What's that all about? Like, what was your reaction? Like, do you say stop? Or, like, what do you do when a strong ass nigga, 50 patted him on his hips?
He's in the middle of saying, what do you do when a strong ass nigga pats you on that? Yo, Dame is crazy. Real quick before we get into, let's bring it up. Before we get into Camron's response, I just got to say a quick thing to that. Y'all know me, man. I pick out words sometimes, and you got to look a little bit off past the surface of people's intentions, right? Dame actually kind of contradicted himself. He was a little all over the place in that video. At one point, he's saying, like, I call it laughing, but then I'm serious. Like, he's trying to say that he's taking it serious, but then it's supposed to be a joke, and he's saying, you call Cam, and he actually did. Cam talks about it, like when Dame called him in the conversation they actually had. But even like little comments in there like, oh, you're over there now, you got to a certain level and they do the pat. That's almost like saying Dame is monitoring or he's interpreting or he might be feeling a way about where Camron is on the ladder now. Because once upon a time, remember, it's Dame sitting amongst the top dogs, right? And Cam is just an artist trying to get these deals with Dame or whatever. But now you call him and say like, oh, so what? You over there in the in club now? So they do the pats over there? It's little things like that. And if you think I'm crazy, people, if you think I'm reaching, it probably has happened to you before and you didn't even realize it. For example, like, let's say if you're in school, let's go for guys and women, right? You're in school, you dress nice, you got your manicured up and you're groomed nice, you got your hair cut, you got the fresh sneakers on or whatever. Come into school, let's say you sit down at the lunch table and somebody at the lunch table says, oh, you think you cute, right? We used to argue over shit like that. Somebody says that to you back in school days or whatever when we was a little kid, it starts an argument, it starts a cutting session, it starts a debate, it's whatever. It goes whatever direction. But the real truth behind that is I just put this on. Well, you mad because I decided to go to the barber and get a haircut, or my sneakers happen to be fresh. I just sat down. You're the one that is picking apart how I'm looking right now. You're the one that says, "Oh, you think you cute." No, the psychology of that is you think that. I didn't say shit. And it's like a shot, right? Well, what's up? You hanging out with the big dog and 50 Cent or the power players now. So y'all do the pat over there. Gotta pay attention. I'm not saying that is outlandish, outright jealousy from Dame, but it might be. But it might be. All right, let's hear Cam's response, man. This shit is hilarious at times.
Yeah, listen, man, I seen that, man. And Dame's my big bro. I love Dame, man. You know, I love that nigga like cook food, man. And let's see how to put this, right? You can't. So Dame, you know what's crazy? Because the nigga was interviewing, didn't even say my name. Dame threw my name in it. He was like Jay-Z, Kevin Hart, Kanye, Rachel Roy, Camron. I was like, damn, I never had 100 million at one time. You know what I'm saying? Or 200 or whatever. And Dame know this more than anybody else. You can't stop hustling. All them people Dame put on that he named, it wasn't like they got a chunk of money and stopped. Everybody kept hustling. They kept going. You did put Kevin Hart in this first movie. I was actually in that movie with Kevin Hart, Paper Soldiers. And you have to be thankful for the opportunity. But did Kevin Hart keep going on and doing a bunch of other shit? Yeah, he wouldn't be Kevin Hart just from being Kevin Hart from Paper Soldiers. It ain't like, you know, Kevin Hart from Paper Soldiers and be like, yeah, he owed Dame. Like the movie, it wasn't Avatar. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't Blair Witch. But you did give him an opportunity. I understand that. But after the opportunity, it's about keep going hustling. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just using him as one example. But when Dame put my name in it, I'm like, damn, bro.
You know what? I'm going to switch the formula here. I was going to wait. I was going to just play the whole Cam. But some of y'all have already seen this, right? And we're seeing the clips going around. So instead of just playing the whole video and saving the topics to the end, we'll just get into full reaction mode. And I'll just interject at these points because this isn't new to everybody. This footage of Cam. Let's talk about that point right there. It bothers me a little bit, and I got some stories that I can even tell that match that. For example, me and Murder Mook have had that, and I love using Murder Mook in this example because Murder Mook says that he's aligned with a bunch of Dame Dash's philosophies. Like you see when they did the Hot 97 joint together, he and I have had conversations about certain philosophies. Hell, me, Murder Mook, and Dame Dash was even on a three-way call once upon a time. I was talking with Murder Mook. We was talking about some stuff. He gives a three-way call to Dame, and then we're on three of us on the call like for 45 minutes just talking a whole bunch of shit. 90% of the time I was sitting there quiet, listening to these guys argue and just be these Harlem niggas and shit and debate right in front of me, who was a stranger to Dame Dash at the time. I'm just like, yo, Dame is Dame on and off camera. This is crazy. But Murder Mook and I have had like this ongoing, and sometimes it's jestful, but sometimes we're really trying to stab at each other. We've had like this little back and forth debate at times about who did more for who. To be honest, it's corny as shit. Like, who the fuck cares, right? But, you know, like, Mook would sometimes take this position of saying, even though RBE started in 2013, when he came in 2018, it changed the whole paradigm for RBE. It made other rappers that hadn't battled on RBE yet want to battle on RBE. He raised RBE to another level, etc., etc. And he's welcome to those opinions. And if you know Murder Mook, he's a very, very self-gratification type of person, right? But shout out to Mook. On the flip side, like when we would have these little debates, I don't just sit there and let him talk shit, right? I would turn around and be just as arrogant. And I would say shit like, well, Mook, you know, you was gone for 4.5 years, going on 5 years. Remember, you got freestyles on Hot 97 kind of talking and acting damn near like you was blackballed. Remember the bars over names movement? That was against you and Lux and all these people that was asking for these checks. Your last battle, when you battled Iron Solomon, them numbers that you was throwing around, what, 25, 35 grand and all that, you asking for numbers like that is one of the reasons why your ass was out of battle rap. By the powers that be, it was damn near get down and lay down. Take this 5 or 10 grand like I'm trying to pay everybody else or stay out the culture. Nobody knew this RBE guy was going to come across and throw on the table the type of bag that brings Murder Mook right back after 4.5 years of being retired. So my little arrogant jabs when we have those type of debates be like, yo, Mook, you was gone 4.5 years. We don't know how much longer you would have been gone. I'm the one that brought you back. I came to you with the idea. I'm the one that put Averb there as your opponent. I'm the platform that built up to a place to be able to host that and promote that and carry that and deliver that. It was my philosophies of keeping that in Club Drum, the small room guy that knew how much that loan credit to actual bars going over well. I'm the one that made sure that that battle was protected. I put the card around it, right? I'm the one that brought that type of money to the table that you quote unquote never made before in battle rap. I'm the one that taught you pay-per-view deals. I'm the reason why your stock is up to the point where now you could take even my contract or my business and go negotiate with other platforms and put them in a spot where, oh shit, well, we don't want you and RBE to go do that again, what you guys just did of shutting down the whole summer. I guess we didn't want to pay you this, but we got to pay it to you now, because if not, these guys over there got the bag for you. And then all these battles that you have after that, where you're making double and triple what you've ever made before me, that's because of my business and my pressure and my presence in the game. Now, I said it with that kind of confidence because some people would say there's truth in that, but then some people would be fair and say there's certain shit that's true in Mook's position, right? So we have those debates, but what Cam just broke down about Dame taking credit for Kevin Hart, that philosophy is skewed, and here's the reason why. Cam nailed it. He said, yeah, okay, the Paper Soldiers, or you put us in our first movie, but that's not how somebody just, you know what I'm saying? Like, Kevin Hart wasn't an overnight success. We seen him doing early day stand-up. We seen him taking Chicken Shack movie roles. We seen him move up and up the ladder, and then he got to a certain point where it seemed to a lot of people that he had his grind that he put in. You know what I'm saying? And if these pieces or these steps within the equation are skipped or you don't take them, we don't get a Kevin Hart. You have to continue this grind. So that's like my debate, like with Mook. I'm just like, okay, you battled here in 2018 after Genius ARP and the RBE team put together all this shit. It was my idea, right? And I made it work for everybody involved, financially, business-wise, promotion-wise, battle-wise, right? But after that, what happens in battle rap? Am I able to just say, okay, everybody just buy whatever I sell you now? No, I then have to go invest and spend the money to say, okay, now I want to do Jay Mills and K Shine. Okay, now I want to do Hitman and Bill Collector. And some of those battles cost more than the Mook and the Verb battle. You know what I'm saying? So it's do they? I forget. But you have to keep grinding. You have to keep working. You know, even after that, we've had years where this is becoming a deeper topic to me, people. You can see I'm passionate about this piece. Even after that, there was years like when we did All Straight to It, which was like 2022. No, 2021, I believe. You know, I just did everything was straight to YouTube, wasn't doing any pay-per-view events. They were saying RBE fell off, despite all those years prior of us putting in these mega events and mega battles, because that's how the industry is. That's how the fans are. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, we off you and we on to the next. Right? So you put Kevin Hart on that football field. If he downs the ball on the 99 yards out, right, he still has to travel 99 yards to get to the end zone. Along the way, whether you're Mook and you're rapping or you're Kevin Hart and you're acting, right, along the way, you got to throw out your stiff arms. You got to carry the ball. You got to put on a couple jukes. You got to catch the passes, right? You got to run your ass off. You got to follow the plays. You got to play the game. You got to do all of this to get to the end zone. So Dame Dash saying things like that, like I'm responsible for Kevin Hart, or feeling the need to remind people of that right now, it shows where he's at. And that's why part of this title says Dame Dash exposes himself, because the old heads that sit around all day and talk about what they did in the past or them being responsible for somebody else, people that are in that still grind and they're heavily moving, they don't got time for that. They don't have the thoughts for that. They don't. I'm doing okay for myself. I don't got time to think about like, oh, back in 2015, I'm the reason why this battle is back, like, or got back into the fans good. I don't think about that shit. Now, if I'm sitting here all fucked up and I don't got nothing going on and I'm still looking out at the arena and I'm seeing people move and shake and I'm down and out, If I got that type of character, you know what type of thoughts I start to have? Oh, look at Camron over there at the brunch or the big industry party. Oh, hang 50 Cent's there. I don't even like that nigga 50 Cent. Who else is there? Jay-Z's. You know I don't fuck with Jay. Hanging around all these niggas now. I'm the one that put him on. Oh, 50 Cent just patted him on the hip. I got an issue. This is real shit. This is real shit, people. And this is why you gotta watch, people. But shout out to Dame still.
You know, me and Dame, we be going through these little speak and don't speak. But one thing for sure, I love that nigga, and I don't let niggas talk about Dame around me anyway. But you know, sometimes me and him go through this little thing to where, so the last time me and Dame spoke, he called me and he like, yo, you down with the Pat Pat Club? And I'm like, what are you talking about, Dame? Now I see you with 50. You came in and padded your pockets. What's up with that? I said, pardon me. I said, it wasn't nothing. It was all good. He said, no, Cam, you can't be down with the Pat Pat Club. That's a Pat Pat. I was just laughing. I said, this nigga Dame is crazy. So he says, yo, you mind if I talk about it? Because me and 50 going through something. I said, I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. So he ends up talking about it a couple weeks later. And then nigga says, yo, Cam letting niggas come up and smack him on the ass. See, it always goes too far. You didn't tell me that on the phone because I would not okay for you to say the niggas is coming up smacking me on the ass because nobody's coming up smacking me on the ass. So then I was like, see, this is, what are we doing here? What are we doing? So then I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a little freestyle I shot a video for, and I was like, it's real disappointing when your OG turns snaggletooth.
Oh my God. So imagine that video would have dropped. And I guess they have this type of relationship, which is what what Cam is explaining now. But one thing that he's letting us know is that before Dame goes on his channel and he does that little funny pat interview about Cam, he calls Cam and he damn near asks him permission. Can he talk about it? You see the title says, and Dame Dash exposes himself, right? You gotta follow me, people. Like, why does Dame? It's one thing to be within your own thoughts and see some shit. Like if I see one of my brothers online and somebody slapping their ass all around the room and I just feel weird, I would feel away because I know the guy and I'm just like, he not into, what the fuck is he on? And if I called him, it would be about that. But to call him and be like, hey, man, like, I don't know what's going on with that. And then y'all have a conversation. And then when the conversation is through and we have an understanding about the pat, then I say, oh, by the way, can I do content on that? Nothing wrong with content. You know, if Dame, I guess, doesn't get approval from or semi-approval from Cam, then we don't even get the moment to be able to break down and analyze and have our own fun on this podcast. But the content thing, let me take this down for a second. Let me bring up Dame's channel, right, which is a dope channel, by the way. This just shows me and him making that call and asking Cam, can I talk about this, right? I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just in relation to the type of money that I think a lot of people expect Dame to have, which the hand is being shown, right? Now, if you go to American New Network, if you remember when he was first announcing and premiering this network, one of the launch pads that he was trying to use was 50 Cent. He was like, yo, 50, let's get into it, man. Let's go back and forth. You drop your new Tyler Perry shit on next Tuesday, and I'm gonna drop my American New Network on next Tuesday, the same day. And let's see who. And I did a stream and I was just like, Dame, 50's new Tyler Perry, fucking the whole little mini city that he built isn't operating at that level. Ciroc isn't gonna say, let me fucking make sure that I release the same day because the quarter waters are arguing with me right now. Y'all know what quarter waters are, right? Those are from my anyway. It like Dame, do you think that he's really going to stop everything that's going on with all the big major sponsors and money behind his, you know, cinema Hollywood mini Tyler Perry build out so that he can release the same day as your YouTube channel, right? And I was just like, Dame, first of all, you know more business than this. And when I look at his channel, still a good channel by just regular YouTube standards. You'd be surprised of the percentage of YouTube channels across the world that don't even pass 5,000 subscribers. Look it up. He's pushing on 200,000 subscribers. And if you look at his views, some of them, this one's 178. That's a good video. 58, 32, 135, 78, 329, 54, 170. Some of these videos have some good views on them. 60, 59, 97. But the point that I'm making right now is I don't know nothing about Dame outside of his interviews or his sit downs in his crib or whatever location that is, and these clips coming out or these videos being uploaded to his channel. I don't know anything about any music. This is not a shot. This is 100% dead truth. I don't know anything about American New Network, anything about any music that has came out from underneath Dame Dash. I don't know about any new movies that has come out from underneath Dame Dash. And if there has been music or movies that has come out underneath this network, then I'm kind of in the loop. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the news cycle. I'm in hip hop. I pay attention to the landscape, and I'm here daily. If I could podcast daily, I'm in the mix daily. I got people that send me information. I got people that text me shit, even if it's personal shit. Yo, I think this is your speed. Check this out. Or it could be on the podcast side. Yo, I think this is newsworthy. Check it out, ARP. I get it all. I haven't heard shit about Dame Dash in quite some time. And that would mean that if it is moving and shaking on his side of the world, then the promotion or the marketing behind it needs some extra dollars put into it, because I don't know nothing about it other than his controversial moments of like being on camera or his teeth falling out, getting into it with 50 Cent, going back and forth with Cam, talking about like that channel to me seems like Dame's newest and most visible and most marketed hustle is just podcasting, or just doing blogs or interviews. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Now, some people would look at that as a fall for Dame Dash, because if you're this mega mogul that Cam is about to break down about all your mansions in London or all this type of stuff, this mega mogul running through arguably hundreds of millions of dollars, right? And now we're resorting to putting in phone calls to Cam talking about, hey, man, can I turn this pat into content? It's an indicator. All right. It's an indicator. See, y'all don't know me some of y'all don't know me for nothing more than podcasting. But if you met me as a billionaire, and then 5 years later, you hear stories about, yo, I'm calling Hitman Holler like, yo, man, you mind if I talk about your latest event? It seems like a kind of a fall down, right? And so he's showing us things. And I got more that I'm going to bring up about Dame Dash after we get into another piece of Camron. Give me a second. More points that we're going to draw that tie into my title. Cam, where you at?
In the song, and I had him in the video with his situation. I said, I can't even, I love the nigga too much. I can't even put this out. I felt bad after I shot it. But he's on the internet telling niggas, what you do, this is exact words, what you do when a big strong nigga come smack you in the ass. I'm like, yo, you violating, bro. The internet violating, B. So I said, I couldn't even put the video out. I said, I'm not doing it. And so he has the movie Honor Up coming out on BET. So he calling niggas like, yo, she just got on the internet saying niggas smacking me on the cheeks, pause. I'm like, yo, I ain't posting, bro. But the thing that got me more confused is because the week before that, prior to him being on BET, he always said he don't need no major TV sponsor, nothing of this and none of that. And he do everything on his own. And niggas who go to the network, that's not independent. I'm independent, this, that, and third. Now you calling and talking about post BET. It goes against what you talking about for me. And I know he'll have an answer to this when he talks. Well, it's
I mean, this is the years and years and years of disagreement and beef between Oskino and Meek Mill. And I know, that's a way smaller story. A lot of people may not follow it or know about it. But it started with Oskino being a guy who always said, dude, Meek, when you was, dirty braid Meek or whatever, I was the one that was. Meek said this himself in interviews. Oskino was the first to put me on his mixtapes and do this and do that. And, Meek Mill took off. Oskino was still where Oskino is at. Right. And, once upon a time, Oskino reaches out to Meek like, yo, you have this big platform now. I got a project coming out. Do me a favor and post it. And Meek didn't post it. Now, Skino looked at it like a post on a platform like yours. This is while Meek Mill's in his top form, right? A post from you could make me tens of thousands of dollars, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars. Shit, if I get out of here, and maybe it takes me to that other bracket above that, right? So you not doing that from a guy that started off with you and threw you all the when you wasn't the man like that. When I was above you, like what's that about? And look at this situation that Cam is saying right now. Similarities. You know, here now is the guy that was up here. Cam was here. You was under Dame. Roles are reversed now, right? And Dame reaches out to Cam and says, yo, post this. Cam doesn't post it, right? So how does Dame look at that? But it also shows where Dame is at. Like Rihanna, right? Is Rihanna gonna flip her lid if Kevin Hart doesn't post her new fragrance that came out in stores? She doesn't. Her success doesn't change based on some of her peers posting her shit or not. It adds, but her shit, she's already out of here. That's the point that I'm making. Dame is looking for help. He's looking for help. Now it seems minor, like, oh, these are friends. They're supposed to be supporting each other. But if it creates an issue, or if I have to phone it in, right? Think about it. Certain artists in a position, or you're in a career, or you're in a certain spot where your shit is moving along, you don't call in no favors to nobody. You don't call in no request. The machine is just moving and it's doing what it's doing, and you're good. Dame is making personal calls. Yo, Cam, and then issues because he doesn't post it. Now Dame got to look at that like, damn, that might be food off of my table, simply because you didn't post it and you have a good platform now. You see the title, people? You see the title? I try to take it into the weeds, man. Fuck the surface shit.
Well, this is a particular source. So, you know, Dame is very smart and has a high vocabulary. You start using words to confuse you. You know, Dame taught me what the word fiduciary means, which y'all probably don't even know what fiduciary means. But Dame is very articulate, very smart. But I don't care. You're independent or you're not. That's the point. Back to the him not having money thing. He shouldn't have to work for anything. Look, yeah, my bad. But like with Dame, I would love to do the things Dame did. Fly private for 5 years straight. Buy 2 mansions in London. You got a mansion in London just for your niggas, and then a personal mansion in London for something else, or renting them or whatever. You just got mansions in London. We're not even from London. We just going to fucking London, hanging out, not saying, you know, I put on my artists, or really, you know, more Jim and Jewels, but we was all Dipset, SAS, just out in London spending money. I would love to have 2 lofts in Tribeca right around the corner for each other. 20,000 for this loft, 20,000 for that loft around the corner. So you got $40,000 a month for just lofts, airfare, flying everywhere. You know, Dame, I would have loved to have the biggest mansion in Alpine, New Jersey. Dame is the only nigga that I ever seen to this day. I'm talking about to this day, and I've been in a lot of places, and like I said, maybe I haven't been in the right places. I've never seen a nigga with a urinal in their house yet.
Me neither.
Dame is the only nigga I see when you go to his house, and he got the stand-up shit in the men's room. He got a urinal in his house, in the movie room, a urinal.
The movie room. House,
he got a crib in Malibu. Yo, you know these walls are made out of museum walls, right? Just the same shit they use in the museum, the same regular house walls. They made museums out. This is museum walls and shit.
What the hell is museum
if you
walls?
live
What
like that, you gotta keep hustling. You can't buy all that shit you bought. I'm being nice. I'm not even naming half of it. You can't buy all that shit and spend all that money and then be like, I shouldn't have to work anymore. I ain't have half the shit I just named. I ain't have no 2 lofts in Soho. I ain't have no 2 mansions in London. I ain't fly private every day for 6, 7, 8, 9 years. I ain't have no damn urinal. This all the shit you was spending your money on. I'm just good budgeting money, thank God. And thank God I keep coming up with different hustles to do this. Now, did Dame give me my opportunity to get back on my feet? Absolutely. Absolutely. I may not be if it wasn't for Dame, but not because of the initial favor he did for me. He signed me to Rockefeller, and I took off and I kept doing other things and other things and other things. I'm not eating off the Rockefeller money no more. Thirdly, and Dame would testify, when I was getting it and I was signing Dame, I would take Dame briefcases of money. Briefcases like the mob, nigga. Like, you know, you show up with your man a briefcase and give the nigga briefcase, opening money in it. Couple times, I bought Dame briefcases of money when I first started getting real money at Rockefeller.
These is friends going at it on the internet, huh? Maybe they have another agreement that they didn't say that we don't know about. Hey, let's just do the content thing. These is friends. So Dame is being exposed in a semi-playful way by Cam. But what happens is you put information out that like this out there, and you allow people to interpret somebody's financial position. And let me take Cam down for a second. Let's first look at some of the more recent issues that show dollar amounts as to Dame's situation or Dame's position. Right. So let's go to this one first. Um Dame Dash takes another loss in court amid Dear Frank legal battle. Okay. Dame Dash has been battling film director Josh Weber in court for years over the film Dear Frank. Dash worked on a film at one point, but eventually he was removed due to his alleged unprofessional behavior on the set. I got a topic I'm going to get into shortly about that type of stuff as well. Let's get down to a dollar amount. Weber and the production company Muddy Waters filed a lawsuit against him in 2019 as a result, accusing him of copyright infringement and defamation. In 2022, Dash was ordered to pay a whopping $805,000 in damages. Now he's taken yet another loss in the case as Judge John F. Walter called him out for allegedly ignoring court orders. According to All Hip Hop, Walter alleges that Dame has failed to file important documents related to the case, ignored deadlines, avoided court order mediation, and more. He says that this essentially forced the court to enter a default judgment against him. Okay. Let's take this one down and let's go to this other one here, which is Rockefeller co-founder and former Jay-Z partner Dame Dash hid cash to dodge paying $100,000. Now the 805, right? $805,000 is money to I shouldn't say everybody. Like you got some of these multi-millionaires, billionaires, Elon Musk of the world and whatnot. $805,000 ain't shit to them. Like they spend that on cars and jewelry. Like they said Jay-Z recently wore like a $3 million watch, right? 3-point-something million dollar watch. So let me take it back. $805,000 is not money to some people, right? But when I see 100,000, 100,000 definitely shouldn't be no money to these big successful moguls. Okay. Somebody like a 50 Cent, if he behind the scenes gets sued for $100,000 right now and he loses that, we probably won't even hear about it. Right. He probably just throw that off and say, here. That's not even the type of settlement money that Jay-Z is able to throw around. Like if like Tony Busby would have got him to cooperate. Tony Busby could have said, come on, man, you shit that shit every day. Like you eat $1 million in dinners within 3 months. Like, come on, man. Like give me $1 million and we'll go away. And he could say, here's $1 million. Get out of here. $100,000. Dame wasn't able to make this go away. Right. That shows something. From a fallen rap mogul and former Jay-Z partner, Dame Dash has stashed money in a web of corporate entities to dodge paying nearly $100,000 judgment and lawsuit claims. Having to dodge and move money around to dodge $100,000, and we know you for being a big, successful CEO owning mogul. Very telling, people. Very, very telling. And this is why the title says, I don't be clickbaiting y'all. And Dame Dash exposes himself. Even when he starts promoting the sale of the Rockefeller percentage, right? Or he then comes back and says, by the way, if you buy the Rockefeller percentage that's available, I'm going to throw in a Rockefeller chain. What does that look like? You know what I'm saying? It looks like you're starting to relinquish and liquidate some of your assets and belongings because you got all this stuff going on and you don't have the money to cover it. Having to dodge $100,000 for the classification that we believe that Dame was in or we think that he is in now is extremely telling. It's extremely telling. And last but not least, I won't even bring this one up here on the screen, but I Googled Dame Dash and Jay-Z's continued stuff, and it just says, Dame Dash and Jay-Z are involved in a legal dispute over Dash's stake in the Rockefeller records. The feud centers around the auction of Dash's stake and to settle his debts. That's pretty much what we just spoke about when he brought in like the chain and everything like that. And you know how Jay is about his masters, man. He's like, anybody touches that, in a certain amount of years, you won't be able to own it anyway. Like that's the stipulations of his deal. And I was gonna bring back up the Cam video, but he pretty much said everything that we want to use to get into our topics now. Here's the here's one of the topics I want to talk about as far as what that what Cam said. That Dame was, falling out with people and burning brick. Like Dame's personality is nothing new to none of us, right? But you know what Dame continues to fit the description of? He continues to fit the description of somebody that just can't get out of his own way. Seems like lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit, fallout after fallout, argument after argument. We all in this world have disagreements with people. You put 3 people in the same room, 2 of them might have an argument or a disagreement, right? But the continued year after year after year after year, sooner or later, somebody got to says the problem is you, right? And Dame Dash seems to has this very, very standoffish personality. He's 53 years old. It's too late in life to teach that dog new tricks. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be who he's gonna be. There are certain elements of his personality I respect, like he stand up, but the abrasive nature of him. We just spoke about some of this stuff in the Kendrick halftime show. Actually, they spoke about it, right? What was Samuel L. trying to tell Kendrick that he needed to do by playing some of the softer songs featuring SZA? Calm, cool, play the game, not ghetto. Playing the game. There's always somebody above you. Like when Chris Rock says Shaq ain't wealthy, the man that signs his check is wealthy and says, here, go buy some cars with bouncing rims on or spinning rims on them and shit, right? We know Shaq is wealthy. But point is, there's always somebody above you. No matter how big Dame Dash was within the game, there was people still above him. And the moment that there's somebody above you, you have to play some type of game. That was the debate that Dame Dash had on the radio with DJ Envy. Now, Dame Dash took a very, very strong, adamant position. I can't never have no boss. Well, at bare minimum, Dame, you're at least going to have partners, people that are equal to you, right? Hence the lawsuit that you just caught. Or that you had a judgment come against you, the copyright infringement. That means that you're not by yourself. There's either people above you, which is 99.9% of the time, there's somebody that we can find above you. I don't care if it's the distribution company. I don't care if it's the label that cut you the check, somebody that gave you an advance. UMG gives $400 million advance to Drake. There's always somebody above you. And at bare minimum, there's somebody next to you, at least. And the man just doesn't move like that. He doesn't move like that. He doesn't play the game enough to maintain these long-term relationships. And when we say, I brought up a comment earlier, it said Dame is blackballed. People just don't want to work with him. Somebody else that kind of fell into that bracket a little bit too was Monique. Now, I don't know I haven't followed Monique's shit in and out over the years, but that's what Steve Harvey tried to break down to. And I'm not saying I agree with Steve Harvey, because Steve Harvey was trying to go all the way out, saying like, you got to fucking not even be you at all. You got to play this game and let us make our money and win. But there's levels to playing these games. You have to play by certain rules and guidelines, or get the fuck on and go do something else, right? That's Dame Dash's big issue here. And as a result, it's this large decline. And Cam exposing all these expenses that he has. This is one of the biggest pieces that I want to get to too, and these life lessons that we learn from Dame Dash. Dame Dash always promoted a philosophy to us of, I'm never going to have money because I'm always going to put it all out on the street. Like he tried to take the street hustling, damn near drug game mentality and put it on steroids and promote that as a great life philosophy for people to follow. I think it's clear to see that there's the first half of your life, the second half of your life. The first half of his life, obviously he dominated. He did a great job. The second half of his life, he's hiding $100,000, right? It's clear. So does it work long term? Is it something that is going to not only get you to the places that you want to go, but keep you in the places that you want to be? No. This mentality of I'll never have money because I'm always going to put it on the street. Okay. I mean, I think it's always good to have your money work for you, but having a backdrop, having the ability to say, damn, I just lost $100,000 lawsuit. All right, let me get this off of my table before these people start relinquishing my assets, right? If you're in that situation, you're playing at that level, you have to have a backdrop. I'm not trying to say have the super duper safety net, but hell, your old partner used to rap about it too. Jay-Z never be broke. My name got 2 G's, Jigga. I'll flip that and pawn that and be on the next day, right? You got to have a backdrop. Putting everything on the table, taking your whole savings account, walking to Vegas and putting it either all on black or red. People, I wouldn't advise it. I wouldn't advise it for financial security and success moving forward. You got to have backdrops, and you need to have a portfolio, and you need to play the game to the point where you can maintain relationships. You shouldn't have to have an issue when you call your friend that you exchange millions of dollars with about posting something promotional for you, Dame and Cam. You see what I'm saying? So I don't think that Dame will ever move in a way to maintain those level of relationships and success. And he's shown that over the years. And his philosophies are not to be followed, in my opinion. You know, you got a boss, you a bitch ass nigga. Everybody got somebody above them. You don't have to call them a boss. Everybody got somebody above them. Drake is trying to sue the person above him right now. I'm pretty sure Dame would love to trade financial positions with Drake right now. He would love to, but there's somebody above Drake. And maybe there's somebody above Lucian that we don't talk about yet. This is life, people. This is life. Or get out of some of these games. You either got to play the game or get out the game. Pick one, right? And there's levels to how you play the game. I'm not saying sacrifice yourself and be somebody that you despise looking in the mirror to see, but you got to play the system. And if you could play it to your credit, that's where you get the win. That's what Kendrick just tried to do at the halftime show. Okay. These drops, that we see, and we brought up the YouTube channel with Dame Dash and saying that the only time I've heard from is when he does interviews and content over the last couple of years. There's nothing wrong with that once again, but it shows a decline. It's like Beanie Siegel. Shout out to Beanie Siegel. We love Beanie Siegel. He's one of the greatest rappers of all time. But sorry is true, and let's be honest, people. Having such a Philly legend, such a hip hop legend, one of the best rappers, one of the realest rappers ever. Does it feel odd when we see a Beanie Siegel in that food truck serving O'Malley or serving some of these younger Philly rappers, a Philly cheesesteak and O'Malley's here. Yo, we're gonna get this on camera. Some people in this chat don't even know who O'Malley is. It's Meek Mill's little cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's the one that was on Sway doing the freestyle. There's something that's O'Malley, right? And like there's a video of like him going to get a cheesesteak to support Siegel, and it's like Siegel's going crazy. It's like, even another example. Think about when Siegel and Meek had that fallout. Meek had a lot of wrongs in that situation, but it's also seen by the explanation, like Siegel was just hitting a red button. Like, he was on Meek's heels because the promoter had a bag on the table, and Siegel needed that shit. He needed that bag. Not everybody can stay in these rich or these up positions into their 40s and 50s and 60s. That's why I say the philosophy of putting it all on the street like Dame Dash, y'all will fuck around and hurt yourself. A lot of these young niggas, they don't think the long game. Let me get it right now, and I'm gonna spend it, and I'm gonna blow it. But when you get into your 40, like Cam is 49. Joe Budden is probably like 44, 45. Gilly probably like 40, 41, 42, 43, something like that. These guys are having a fucking ball in their life. Camron's doing podcasts talking about his favorite type of prostitutes and shit. They blowing money. They buying the cars they never was able to buy before. Because some of you youngins out there, you think that when you're in your 40s or your 50s, you're dead. Some of these people, they grind so much that they don't really start living at a certain caliber until they get into their late 30s and 40s. That's where it's like, okay, I want the Bentley now. I got the big 10,000 square foot crib now. I got the vacations every other month now. Or I got Like these niggas didn't do that shit in their 20s, and some of them, that's when they was the most popular as far as the trade that we thought that they was gonna do, like a Joe Budden and rapping, right? Planning for that shit, seeing like a seagull in a food truck, it just feels odd. If you walk into a Target and you see somebody from, they said a mill or somebody, I forget, working the register, it feels weird. It feels weird. For me, knowing how big of a mogul Dame Dash is, to see that the only time I hear from him is because he's got to call Camron and say, yo, you mind if I talk about the Pat Pat? It feels weird. It feels weird, man. And we're supposed to watch this stuff, learn from it, and realize that we need to plan for the long game. Okay, into our late 30s, our 40s, our 50s, our 60s. If I ask everybody in the chat right now, how long do you want to live? And anybody says 70, 80, right? If people that are answering that in the chat, if they're anywhere from 30 to 40 years old right now, and they give that answer, that means that you haven't even lived half of your life yet. If I want to live till I'm 80 and I'm 40 right now, I still have half of my life to go. Chill out, elevation. Chill out. You don't want to go. I mean, with today's technology, I don't know, but you might not even be able to walk. You sure you want that? You know, give me a cool 80 and I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother passed away in her 80s. She lost her mind before she lost her body. She was still very, very mobile. Her mind went, you know what I'm saying? Like she would put the groceries in the cabinets instead of the fridge. Like her mind went, and it's like she got dangerous. And that's when we had to put her into a nursing home, because it's like, you know, you come home and she left the gas on. She can't hear the gas running from the stove and shit. It's like, yo, like this is getting bad. But that's my point. You want to live to 80 and you're 40 right now, you still got half your life to go. You know what I'm saying? And you don't want to be 53 years old begging your close friends to post you on their story. We got to plan for this type of stuff, people. So there's life lessons and reminders in videos like this. We get to laugh and joke, but Camron exposes Dame Dash. Yeah, he was talking. Let them friends have their little friendly shit. Dame Dash also exposes himself, or if we pay attention to his movements and the things that's going on. And then what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to learn from this shit. Take care of ourselves, man. Sorry, it's true.
Don't confuse silence with work ethic. I'm a boss, making decisions my first fetish. The verse cherished is perfect, that's a reverse blemish. I dropped it, connected the block, learn Tetris.
This is the Sorry It's True podcast. Welcome to the house of. And shout out to the members.